What's going on, guys? What's going on? It's your boy, Crazy Big That God in the building, getting ready to drop some quick value for you guys. Happy Monday, by the way. Let's get it. Let's dive into this. So, today's topic is actually going to be the testings of God, right? The testings of God, right? So let's get into this. So, you know, whatever it is that we want in life, right? No matter what it is that we want, it's gonna be a period of testing, right? It's gonna be a period of testing, right? Testing your character, testing who you truly are, testing your word, testing your character, testing your integrity, testing your word, testing who you truly are, testing what's inside your heart, right? He will test you, right? In order to get the blessing, right? So what happens is when we don't pass the test, what happens? You feel regret, you feel a distrust with God, you feel like you let yourself down, you feel like you let God down. And it's a crappy feeling. It's not a good feeling at all, right? But then when you stand on your word and you stay faithful to the test and you pass the test and you're enduring the test, how do you feel? You feel amazing. You feel great. You feel like, yes, I feel good that I accomplished it, right? It's just the same way with our testing. We have to keep that testing alive. We have to keep our word alive. We have to keep our integrity alive, right? We have to keep that foundation alive. Because if we don't keep it alive, God would not bless us, right? If we compromise and if we backslide, He's not going to bless us. And that's what He tests us. He tests our endurance. He tests to see if we're going to backslide. He tests our character. He tests our integrity. He tests our personality, right? He tests our strength, right? He tests all of these things. And we got to be able to pass every single test. We got to be able to measure up, right? Because at the end of the day, we have the willpower, we have the strength of God, Almighty God. We have that strength, we have that power to overcome any test, any situation, right? We have the strength, we have the test to pass any situation, right? And we have to run with that. We have to run with our word. We have to run with our integrity. We have to let go of the compromising. We have to let go of the backsliding. We have to let it all go. Because if we don't let it all go, we will never see the glory and the goodness of God and the promised land and the hidden riches that lies within inside of us and that everything that He's ready to give us. Right? If we're not passing the test, this is what happens. So we got to stay faithful even when it's hard, even when your flesh feels like, damn, I feel like you want to backslide or, you want to go against your word. No, you will regret that. You will regret it. And you're going to wish you fought. You're going to wish you fought to keep your word. I'm telling you, it's consequences when it comes to the covenant. It's consequences when it comes from not keeping your word. There's consequences. It's consequences. And if you're not learning from your mistakes, this is a perfect time to be aware of what happens when you don't stand on your word and learn from the mistake and come up higher and come up stronger. Because every time you pass the test, believe it or not, you're getting spiritually stronger, you're building trust with God, and you're also evolving and transforming into a person that God created you to be. But when you don't pass the test, you go back to the same old ways and the old habits, right? We got to be mindful to pass the test. We got to be mindful to embrace the testing periods and to let it fuel you, right? We got to let everything fuel us because if we don't let things fuel us, then things start to compromise us. We begin to start getting overwhelmed and then later on get defeated, right? God forbid, right? We got to be able to fight. We got to be able to defeat the enemy. We got to be able to pass the test because what you want on the other side of the test, but because what you want is on the other side of the test, right? When you pass the test, what you want is on the other side of the test. And you're gonna have to endure. He tests your endurance. How strong are you? He wants to show you how strong you are, how much you can endure, how much you could push past the things that are blocking you and the things that are trying to distract you. He's trying to see how much you can take and how strong you are. He's trying to show you how strong you are, right? He's trying to develop you. He's trying to fortify your spirit and to make you stronger so you can stand where you're going, right? If you're compromising, if you're backsliding, if you're not keeping your word, how are you going to stand for where you're going? How? How? It's impossible. It's impossible to stand where you're going if you're not keeping your word and passing the test. It's like, damn, like he wants to give it to you, right? He wants to give you the kingdom, but you're not passing the test. You're coming up short, right? And I don't say it just for you, including me. There's times I've came up short. There's times that I didn't pass the test. There's times that I came up short and I felt so bad. I felt like I let him down. And I always remember that moment to always come up higher. I let that moment fuel me so I would never have to deal with that situation again. Because I know how that feels. I know how it feels to come up short. I know how it feels to not keep your word. I know how it feels to backslide and the consequences that comes with that. I know how that feels. I learn from my mistakes, right? And this is what we all got to do. We got to learn from our mistakes. We got to learn from it. Because if we don't learn from our mistakes, we make the same mistake again and we go in the same circular, revolving cycle, right? And we're never able to improve and to see what's on the other side because you're not keeping your word. The testings of your word, the testings of God is so powerful, right? And we got to be able to endure to see what's on the other side. I know it hurts. I know it sucks, but you got to put your flesh under your feet. I know it hurts. I know it sucks, but you got to put your flesh under your feet. I know it hurts. I know it sucks, but you got to put your flesh under your feet for the love of God. Because if you let these situations, circumstances, distractions, people get to you, you're going to miss the journey. You're going to miss the destination. You're going to miss what God has inside in store for you. So we got to be aware. We got to be aware of the testings of God. We got to take it seriously. I fear God. I fear God with everything in my heart. I fear him. I'd rather be in agreement with God than to be in agreement with people. I'd rather be in alignment with God than to be in alignment with people. Because he created this world. And everybody should be able to be in alignment with God over this whole world because he created it. Why are you trying to be in alignment with people and try to fit in this world when God created this? He should be your master. He should be your motivator, your mentor, someone to look up to. He should be that person, right? Not people. You got to take people off the throne, put God on the throne. Some of us are so lost. It's because we're keeping other things on the throne and not God on the throne, right? We're not seeing the full picture. We're not seeing what God has for us because we have other things on the throne, right? We have other things on the throne. Why? Why we have other things on the throne when God created us? Huh? Why we have other things on the throne when God created this whole world? Why? Right? But I guarantee you, you put God first and you keep your focus on Jesus, you keep your focus on God, you're in perfect peace for the whole day, the rest of your life. Right? The testings of God. He wants to know, can you endure? He wants to know, are you going to backslide? He wants to know, are you going to keep the faith? He wants to know. And the only way to know is for you to get tested. That's the only way he's going to know. That's the only way. If you can't pass the test, you're not going to be able to get there. If you're compromising, you're not going to be able to get there because that's not building trust with him. That's not building integrity with him. That's what it is. This is what it takes. This is what it's going to take to get to where you're going. This is what it's going to take to get to your promised land. This is what it's going to take to get to the top. And that's why a lot of people don't make it to the top, right? It's the testings, it's the endurance, it's the awareness, it's the awareness of your mind and the ability to stay in control of your mind and to control your self control and keep your word. That's all it is, right? I'm gonna leave you guys with this, right? We only live once. What are you gonna do with the rest of the time you have left on this earth? What are you gonna do with the rest of the time that you have left on this earth, right? Are you gonna spend it compromising and falling for the distractions and being in a negative mindset? Or are you gonna rise above? Or are you gonna let everything fuel you and rise above to get to where you gotta go? Are you gonna let the old self defeat you to where you need to go, or are you going to let the old self fuel you to the new self so you can get to where you need to go? It's two options you can do right now. You can let the old self defeat you, or you can let the old self fuel you to the new self so you can get to where you need to go, right? You could say, you know what, today's the day I had enough. I'm moving forward with the rest of my life. And today is the day you could change. Today is the day you could do that switch, just like that. Boom, and your whole life will change. But it will take persistence, confidence, commitment, endurance, the testings of your word, putting God first, keeping him on the throne. That's what it's going to take to see what he has for you. All right, guys. So with that being said, it's your boy, Crazy Faith the God, on the way out. I hope you guys have a blessed, amazing Monday. I hope you guys took a lot of value from this video. Sorry about the backgrounds, but we perform no matter what the situation looks like. We are here. We're ready to show up and to do God's will. So with that being said, it's your boy Crazy Faith God on the way out. Let's grow.